How many times have you been told that you're playing Skyrim wrong? You're ruining the game for yourself because you're using fast travel. You're min-maxing your skills and not experiencing the world. You're using exploits and glitches to get as powerful as possible. You just hoard everything valuable you see on your journeys and then just stash it in your house. This is you supposedly playing Skyrim wrong, but I don't think that's your fault. This game has one of the most expansive, living, breathing worlds that's ever been included inside of a video game before. And yet so many players just ignore it. And then you open YouTube and you're told that it's your fault you're playing Skyrim wrong. No, I think Skyrim teaches you to play it wrong. The carriages are placed outside of cities and settlements as a quick and easy way to get around the world with minimal danger, and it also does save you some time. But how many times do you actually use a carriage system in one playthrough? If you're anything like me, the first time you get to any city that isn't Whiterun, you use the carriage system just outside of Whiterun, and once you're there, you unlock the fast travel point, and you don't use the carriage system anymore. And why would you? Fast travel is completely free, you need to click 3 buttons, a load-in screen, and then bam, you're there. And you might have heard this one before, but that does inherently ruin the game's experience. No stakes, no scenery, nothing happens. One load-in screen, you're exactly where you want to be. It's quick and convenient, and a lot of people enjoy fast travel, but there is literally no cost to doing it. There isn't a reason why you would want to use any of the alternatives, such as carriages, for example, or just walking. All of these random encounters, locations close to the road, weather events, and dangers that you might run into, you don't have to deal with any of that. Skyrim players also have this infinite inventory mentality. You must take everything. Everything has some sort of value. You're not just carrying that shiny enchanted sword that you found, or piece of armor with a very useful enchantment on it. You're carrying junk. 40 different types of healing potions, stamina potions, and magicka potions. Buffing potions that have absolutely nothing to do with your build, but you know, they might be useful. Copious amounts of jewelry and gemstones, because they go for a lot of money. And then just random bandit number 57's iron sword, or his best mate's fur armor. And we can't forget about the 17 sweet rolls.
Let me guess. Someone stole your sweet roll.
Not only is this unrealistic, it's also kinda just stupid. Why do we do this? Why do we pick up everything? It's gotta have some value, right? Well, that's what the game tells you. It's got a value icon, and it gives you 300 pounds of carry weight at the very start of the game. And that will only go up when you level or buy a backpack. The game wants you to pick up all of this stuff. Why wouldn't you? There's no reason not to take it, which isn't good. It doesn't make anything feel valuable. If you're taking everything, that one shiny sword that you have that's going for 400 gold is kind of just dwarfed by everything else in your inventory. It's nice to have, it's certainly a good find, but it doesn't make it feel that special. Skyrim telling you to pick up all of these different things is ruining your experience, and unfortunately, it completely ruins the economy of the game. You quickly become very, very rich. Gold becomes meaningless. If you have piles and piles and piles of gold, nothing to spend it on, then what is the point? Out on these travels, when you're picking up all of these different things, you probably would have found a little bit of food. Food in most games is usually useful, it gives you passive buffs or even active buffs, but Skyrim does it very differently, and not in a good way at all. Yeah, you could cook up some ingredients and make a very overpowered vegetable soup. Okay, that's one thing. That's one use case you might have out of it. The rest of it, what are you doing with it? Why do you have it? You're gonna open your inventory in the middle of a fight and eat 17 sweet rolls because you ran out of healing potions. What is the first thing you do when you walk into a city in Skyrim? Maybe visit the blacksmith, sell some of your gear off, go to the nearest quest marker and accept it, and then head straight back out and ignore the rest of it. You walk straight past all of the NPCs. You interact very little with what's placed there for you. The inns are a massive part of Skyrim's world, and they're completely brushed over. But they're there, just sitting, ignored. Somebody at Bethesda had to make that area. Voice lines were written specifically for these areas, and yet nobody interacts with them. And that's not their fault. That's because the game encourages you to. Why would you stop at an inn? There is no reasonable, plausible case where you might actually have to stop there. Unless you're role-playing, which is great. But that is Skyrim's biggest problem. You have to make things up in your head. You have to justify why you're doing what you're doing in your own head for it to make sense. Other than that, there is no functional gameplay purpose on why you would be stopping at an inn or talking to an NPC outside of maybe a quest. Let's take a step back for a second. All of these intricately built areas and highly interactable spots, random events, and dangerous encounters all happen within Skyrim. Yeah, Skyrim. That cold mountainous region filled with Nords. You kind of forget that sometimes. If Skyrim was a real place, it would be impossible to traverse without proper preparation. The weather in this game and the climate is essentially just cosmetic. The regions are snowy because Skyrim is a cold place, but it's not actually cold. It just looks it. A snowstorm rolls in, who cares? You don't have to worry about that. You can waltz out naked if you want. Doesn't really make a difference. And with all of these points wrapped up and put together, they all have one glaring feature. Everything is put there to look like it should make sense. It all is cosmetic. You look at a blacksmith. Oh yeah, that makes sense. They've got a dirty face, ashy clothes. They're working at a blacksmith. Okay, cool, that one thing makes sense. Where do they go? They go to the inn in the evening. Cool, that's dynamic. But they go there every single day. They're on their own little AI clock. When you walk into an inn, this voice line plays.
Come on in. Just stoke the fire. Take a seat and get the cold out.
Just stoke the fire. Get the cold out. What cold? I'm not cold. I've just been out waltzing around Winterhold in my pants, and I'm not cold. That doesn't make any sense. And that right there is Skyrim's core problem. Everything in this game is just cosmetic. It's supposed to look like it makes sense. Most things don't have a functional use whatsoever. Okay, so I can fast travel everywhere. I can carry anything I want. I can be as rich as I want. Food is irrelevant. Inns are irrelevant. And the weather is just cosmetic. But what if you can look past all of this? What if you're more than happy going on a journey around Skyrim and just ignoring these features? That's where another problem arises. The journey also doesn't make sense. One of the biggest parts of a journey is prepping for your trip. In Skyrim, the only prep you have to do for your trip is making sure you have enough inventory space to carry another 17 sweet rolls. You might sell off some of your gear to make some extra money, stock up on some potions with that gold, buy a fancy new spell or a weapon, and then head out. Yep, you just head out. No worries, no problems. No fear of running low on supplies. You don't have to worry about where you're sleeping. You don't have to worry about the cosmetic weather, because at the end of the day, all this snow, it doesn't mean it's cold. And you don't even really have to worry about what you're doing. You can just waltz out and do whatever you want, which I know is a huge part of the marketing. Go out, do anything. But I don't know how many times I've loaded up Skyrim, gotten to level 5 on a character and been like, okay, what am I doing now? I'm not saying there should be some structured goal, questline, or way of playing that fixes me to do a certain thing at a specific time. That completely defeats the purpose. But what I am saying is there's absolutely no stakes to questing out and exploring somewhere that is described to be super dangerous by other people in the world. You could waltz into a vampire den at level 1. You might get messed up, but realistically it's not going to be that difficult. This, at its core, completely ruins the gameplay of Skyrim for me personally. The base game can feel very unrewarding when everything you're doing has absolutely zero stakes. And I keep saying that, stakes. There are no stakes in this game. And yeah, it's supposed to be a power fantasy. I'm going to use Superman as an example to compare to the Dragonborn here. Everyone always says Superman is very uninteresting because he's so overpowered. That's kind of a similar case with what's going on here. You don't have to worry about anything. You're too strong. There isn't really much of a reason to get stronger, apart from damage numbers going up and levels going up and loot getting a bit shinier. You're just walking through the game and you're doing slightly different quests. Don't get me wrong, the quests in this game aren't great, but they're definitely not its weakest point. But the point you're at when you're doing these quests don't really matter. You can complete the entire game at level 1 and the game doesn't care because it sticks to you. It moves around you. You're not in Skyrim, you're in the Dragonborn's Wonderland. When a game is marketed as an immersive open world, and then it hands you something like Skyrim, it is kind of laughable. And there's a reason why there are hundreds of mod packs out there which fix these core issues. If you don't have access to mod lists, or you simply just choose not to use mods, I urge you next time that you play Skyrim, you take it a little bit slower. You think about the things that the game is trying to signal to you, but doesn't actually put upon you. Make the game more interesting for yourself. Or just download a mod list. To be honest, you should probably just download a mod list.